Welcome to everyone. This is the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater knitters. And we welcome any one of you who are seeing this to come join us sometime and tell us about what you're knitting and share your tips, because that's what we do. The meeting is at 2:30 on Saturdays. That's Pacific time, and you can get the link to the meeting by joining the website phrancko.com, which is spelled Phrancko. Don't forget the C-C-K-O. And on the website, which is free to join, by the way, you can then see links to the meeting and join us. Hello, Mary.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Wally.
Hi, Frank. How you doing?
Hi, Joellen.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Judith.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Will.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
So happy you're back, Kathy.
Thank you. Well, I
Tell
was
us
actually
about
back
your trip.
last week.
What?
I was actually back last week, but I was so sick
Oh, wow.
after the trip. But it was just a wonderful time. And Shetland was beautiful.
Oh, tell us about it. I want to hear.
Yeah.
So you think that the classes are going to be huge, the whole thing is a big deal, but everyone is spread out over the island, and everything is in walking distance pretty much. And
Wow.
each class was 10 to 15 people. It was very small and
Cool.
just intimate and wonderful, and you could ask all the questions in the world. And not that I thought of all the questions I wanted to ask till afterwards. But you know.
Nice.
What's the name of the conference? Just say it again.
Oh, it was Shetland Wool Week in the
Okay.
Shetland Islands,
Shetland
or on
Islands, yeah.
Larrick, basically.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's just really something. And the teachers were all wonderful. They certainly knew their stuff. And yeah, my favorite class though was the color work, taught by a woman named Terry Laura.
Mm.
Yeah. And it was just
What kind of color work? Stranded color work or other kind?
yeah, it was stranded color work, but her class was basically focused on how to test colors, how to put them together, what to look for in the pattern, when to change color in a pattern as you're going along, all kinds of little things that I had not thought of before. So
Yeah.
Well,
it was
never
really,
too old to learn.
no, might be too old to remember, but I'm not too
Is this an annual event?
It is. It's always around the end of September. Yeah. And we didn't go. The only thing I wished was that we had gone from the beginning, although the weather was bad and it was hard for people to get there at the beginning. So some people missed the first day. We went in the middle and we lucked out with the weather. So we were able to fly across to the island, which is only an hour and a half from Glasgow
Okay.
on a flight. In a little puddle jumper.
Yeah. Right.
They're fun.
Very
So the island is not very big if you're able to walk all over it, huh?
Well, it's this town is not very big.
I
but
see.
the island is about an hour and a half lengthwise up and down, and half that widthwise.
I see.
So maybe the size of Rhode Island.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so much has come from it, as far as wool and knitting, and everyone knows of Shetland Island.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we visited the factory. We had some classes in the factory that Jameson's. I told my husband I was going up to the Jameson's factory, and he said, "Wait a minute, don't they make whiskey in Ireland?"
That's what I thought of, because I've been to that Jameson factory.
Yeah.
In Cork, Ireland.
I mean Jameson and Smith.
Did you knit the hat?
I did. I made two. I'll show you.
So you wore it?
What's that?
You were wearing it when you were at the
No,
Shetland?
because I was actually making it when I was on vacation.
Okay.
That's one.
Oh, yes.
Oh, how nice.
Oh,
Beautiful.
And I turn this one. I'm working on the ends finally. And then I made this one for my sister. And I actually picked out, she has a
Oh.
vest that's kind of a blue-green, and then this looks really good.
Wait.
How pretty.
Both are nice.
Yes.
She picked out the, I picked out the colors for my sister. She has dark black hair. And I picked out the colors before I took the color class. And then I came home after the color class and I realized, oh, I need something else, because I didn't have anything for this. See that where that purple is? And I thought, oh yeah, I need that purple. So I had to go and order it.
Ah.
But that's the kind of stuff you learn in the color class. What's your accent? What are you going to do? How do you want everything to lay out? So,
Mm.
Nice.
and it was really, really fun. Yeah.
nice.
Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
Yes.
Speaking of not being home, as you can see, I'm not in my usual location.
Yes,
I am
we've noticed.
beautiful Palm Springs for the week.
Nice.
And,
Ah,
Very good.
today
You
it's
been-
28 degrees.
you've been out in the sun already.
Yes. Oh, can you tell?
Oh, yes, I can.
Yes. I was out in the sun this morning and now I'm inside in the air condition. It's 98 degrees. I
Oh
don't
my
think I'll be going out.
God.
Are you just holidaying or are you out there for a specific reason?
Just to relax.
Just
It's
to
a
relax.
beautiful, relaxing inn that I'm at.
Nice.
So Jenny, last year when he went to Palm Springs, I made the joke. I said, "Oh, are you enjoying the beach?" So Palm Springs is a desert.
I didn't know that.
It's a very, very big beach.
Yes.
So very lots of sand on the beach there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does the name, is there water wells there? Is that where the springs come from? Where does the spring bit come from then?
I don't know. I imagine there's a spring somewhere, but I don't know.
An oasis. Maybe it's an oasis.
Yeah, maybe it started as an oasis.
Started as an oasis.
Well, there's certainly plenty of palms. It gets that name right.
Get that bit
Right.
right. Yeah.
We had a palm tree outside of our hotel on the Isle of Skye.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Mhm.
Did you?
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
it was really something. I mean, they just grow there. Doesn't get that cold. And also, Frank, you'll appreciate this. We brought back 4 bottles of Scotch whiskey from duty free, and probably saved like $250.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. So it
So
was a
did-
great
did-
vacation.
Did your husband have a time to try the scotches he wanted to try, or?
Well, we did try a couple at duty free, but at our hotel there was a fellow from Dublin who was really knowledgeable about whiskeys. I don't know what you call that person. A distiller? Not a distiller, but he just I don't know. He just knew a lot about whiskey. And so we did a tasting with him for like maybe an hour and a half and tried 4 whiskeys. And then we were supposed to go out to dinner, but that didn't happen for a while.
I'm not hungry.
Couldn't
Let's
even
just hang
finish
out here.
We have very generous pours there.
Oh,
We dram it all. That was really fun. Yeah.
Could you taste the difference?
Yes. Oh, yes. Very much.
Yeah.
He did his favorites from 4 different regions. The first one was really light. That was a lowland Scotch, and then there was one from Speyside, and one from someplace else. I forget where, and one from Isla, which was our favorite.
Mm.
Ardbeg Ugadal.
Oh, wow.
It was really good.
Kathy, what you call that person is a whiskey sommelier. SOMMELIER, trained and knowledgeable in whiskey.
I didn't think it
Sommelier.
would be the same word as for wine, sommelier.
Neither.
Yes.
No.
Oh, was that it? Sommelier?
Sommelier.
You,
Sommelier.
It has an aura on the end of it. I'm just saying.
Judith, how do you say it in French? Say it in French.
Sommelier.
Oh,
now
that's
it's
the
gonna-
Joan.
That's really different than I've ever said.
I'll have to
Say it
call.
again, Judith.
Sommelier.
You just
The
told
sommelier.
us Americans
Sommelier.
what we've been doing wrong.
Well, how did you spell it, Joellen?
It's SOMMELIER.
Yep. Sommelier.
Sommelier. and
That's a Canadian
sommelier.
accent.
Sommelier.
It's sommelier. Well, I don't think you have the E in English, so that the last syllable. So maybe that's the hardest part.
Yeah, that's
in
probably why
English.
we say sommelier.
Mhm.
Sommelier.
Mm.
Oh, you have it, sommelier. Yeah,
No,
so it's
an A, not E.
Yeah, so the middle E would sound like a book. So sommelier.
Sommelier. Sommelier.
Sommelier. Yeah.
Nice. See the amazing things we learn here?
Yeah.
It's like Kathy says though, will we remember? I won't.
I just forgot she said that.
I'm venturing out into white wine, if you don't mind, just a quick another topic. And I bought I don't normally drink white, and I'm trying to introduce myself to whites. I don't like sweet wines, and so there was a Pinot
Grigio?
Gris.
Yeah,
And then
Pinot Gris. Yeah.
and there's one with is spelled the Italian way or the Spanish way, and one's the French way. Because I said, well, what's the difference? I've heard of the Pinot. Well, now I can't say it, either one of them. Pinot Gris.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
right, well,
the-
Gris,
Fran-
and
in-
then there's another version of that word.
Grigio.
Grigio, thank you.
Grigio.
The Grigio, I think, is the Spanish, and the Gris is the French. No.
Gris is French. Yeah. GRIS is
Yes.
Gris
Yeah.
in French.
that's-
Yes.
That's lovely, whatever it's say this.
Well, you said it right. You just have to the S at the end is silent.
Yeah.
So it's Gris.
And I think it's the same grape with just two different names.
There's two different countries with the
Yeah,
tail
but
end is
it-
just a little bit different.
Yeah.
So they might taste a little different depending on where they were grown,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would assume so. That seems to be true. Wow. But I liked it.
Yeah. I like Pinot Grigio. I buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
it's a lot of people's favorite.
Yeah.
I like
If you
it.
like dry white wine, Sauvignon Blanc is another good one.
Yeah, another one. Yep.
I don't like sweet wine, and
Yeah,
Sauvignon Blanc is good. It's also really good for cooking if you ever cook with wine. Sauvignon,
Really?
is a good
I
one.
drink while I cook.
Yeah.
So you
Is there
cook with
no-
wine, you're drinking.
Yes.
And then the dish comes out really good, and then they ask you how to do the
So good.
recipe, and you forget.
You say,
I'm real sure what it tastes like, but it seemed awfully good.
I find it really hard to weave in ends on these Pharaoh things, garments and whatever.
are you trying to weave them into this same color? Is that what makes it hard?
I just can't see underneath the floats where I'm
Oh,
going.
right. Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Arenda's her was it a tutorial or was it just, yeah, I think it was a video tutorial. I watched a video tutorial. And she just does a duplicate stitch for 1 or 2 stitches, and then she takes the yarn and moves it right into the float and just splits the float and puts the yarn in. But it's still really hard just to even see that first couple of stitches.
Get all those colors running around.
Lots of colors.
I'm just gonna cheat.
What's that?
I'm
Okay.
gonna
Cheat.
Who'll know?
Nobody,
Only you.
Nobody.
not my sister.
Until the end works its way through to the other side.
Right.
That's,
She told a story about that. That's why I got up and got scissors, because in her tutorial, she said she made a pair of socks and she waited till the end to cut all the ends. And she said, don't do that.
No.
She forgot a couple of them and her sock unraveled.
Oh,
oh,
no.
no.
Oh. I bet that's where pom-poms came from. You pull them all out the top.
So how long you staying in Palm Springs?
Just today and tomorrow. I'm
Oh.
going home on Monday.
All right.
Just came for the weekend.
Oh.
Just needed some time to relax.
A little
And-
extra money to blow.
Yeah.
Is that drivable for you, or did you fly, or?
No, it's an hour-and-a-half flight.
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive it. It's like a 9-hour drive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But there are people who do that kind of thing, but not now, not at my age. I'm done with that.
Not just for a weekend, no.
No.
Yeah. Who flies there? Alaskan Airlines?
I flew here on United,
Oh, all right.
but I think Alaska flies here too.
Yeah.
So
So
who
it-
has something they'd like to show us that they're working on? Will, were you about to say something?
I was just gonna ask if this is Rhinebeck weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it? I thought
Yeah.
it was.
Sumner's
Sumner's
there.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not getting soaking wet.
Oh, is it raining?
God, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, because that
What is it,
most
like,
of that is
it's 50
outside. So
Yeah,
he
it's
prob-
56 degrees here on Long Island, so upstate it's
wow.
got to be really cold.
Oh
And
boy,
all the trees are starting to turn yellow.
yeah.
But considering we've had so much rain here, the colors are dull.
Mm.
So
I went to Rhinebeck once. Gosh, it must be 10 years ago now. When I was living in New York, so it was
Yeah.
easy. You could just take a bus upstate.
yeah,
And I loved it. It was just so fantastic, and I've wanted to go back ever since.
yeah.
And I've never made it, but
Yeah.
one day I am going to go back, and
It's
I can't
It's
wait.
it's a 4-hour drive from here for me, so it's not
Okay.
too bad.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
what
not
did
too
you
bad.
like so much about it, Will?
Well, I loved seeing the sheep because
Yeah,
they put all the sheep out and there's sheep shearing contests and all that kind of stuff. I just loved walking around and seeing all the knitters who
Yeah.
were, it's great to be in a place where you're all like-minded.
Yep.
Everybody you have something in common with everybody there.
Yeah. Everybody's
So-
walking around knitting
Yeah.
and watching. Yep.
And then, of course, there was also great shopping with all the
Yep.
vendors. There
Oh,
was just tons
God.
of stuff to look at
Mm.
and buy. And
Were,
was
were you alone or
No, I went-
accompanied by a knitter, another knitter? Or
I was with a group because at the time I
Ah.
was working for Lion Brand Yarn in New York. And so a group of us from Lion Brand all
Right.
went together. Yeah.
because I was gonna ask you if you were alone, how easy it was to how do you say engage conversation with
I think it would have been,
strangers, even
Very easily.
yeah.
way.
Yep.
I think it'd be very easy. I think it would be easy to just strike up a conversation with a stranger or, ask someone, what is it you're working on? And I'm sure they'd be
Oh.
happy to tell you all
Right.
about it.
Right, that's true.
The year I went, I found it fascinating with the shearing of the wool.
Mhm.
And all these women and ladies were standing there like it was going to be a race. And as soon as they cut that wool and put it in the bag, they went flying to grab it. And then they go to another barn so they can separate it and clean it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, women 10, 12 bags of wool they're running with. Yeah, there's 12 to 13 14 barns up there. Nothing but wool and all kinds of needles and everything and crafts. You need the whole 4 days to be up there to go do this.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear Sumner tell us about it next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to mortgage a house for the yarn you spend. I think the 1 year I was there, they just first started out with yak, and it was $150 a skein.
Ouch.
And they had 2 sweaters that were made there. I said, "Oh, $1,500, really easy." So
We're talking about the state of New York, correct?
yes, we are.
Is that anywhere near Tuxedo, New York?
I don't know. This is close to Albany.
It's near Woodstock.
Yeah, near Woodstock.
Well, the Renaissance Festival was in Tuxedo.
Mm.
And I don't know, I doubt they hold those anymore, I don't know. That's the closest I've ever gotten to anything in New York.
Mm.
We used to sell there, and they had a giant, I think it's a ginkgo biloba maybe tree, and that grows at this festival, and they're very few and far between. It was giant old, it used to be a Japanese area. And it was very pretty, the most beautiful. You want to immediately go make a quilt out of all the colors you see in the tree. So pretty there.
We'll have to go and investigate that.
Yeah, if they're still going on, you don't see
Yeah.
the advertisements like you used to. The Texas Renaissance was a really large one. We went and sold there a lot.
Joellen, there's a Renaissance Festival in Denver too, which is
Yeah.
hugely popular. Well, it's down below Denver, and it's if you don't go early, it's like a two to 2.5 hour snake line from Denver all the way down to it.
Wow.
So
That might be that one time I was telling you I flew to Denver. It might have been, I was at that fair. I don't recall. It's been a while. Well, I will show anybody wants to see my project.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I am making socks, and I'm making two at a
Two at a
time
time. Oh, wow.
on magic loop.
Cool.
Look at that.
Cool.
Yes.
That is neat.
Yep. Just stay on your toes. One might be longer than the other one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are you doing toe up or top down?
It is top down.
Top down.
Yes, you could see she started with the ribbing.
Yeah.
And then it goes into this little, there's a little design down here. I don't know if you can see the little, it's got a four line design.
It's a little hard to
Oh,
see.
all right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little bumpy nose in here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm also making a sock. But I'm just doing one at a time. Let me turn my background off so that you can see there. Let's see. Let me get some light on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, how nice.
So it's just got it's a plain stockinette
Right?
sock with I think it's called an antler cable.
Oh,
Love
okay.
it.
Oops.
Yes. Then, yeah.
It's just gonna go up the center
Yeah.
of the front of the sock.
You're doing toe up.
Toe up. Yep. I love toe up. That's my
Yeah.
favorite way to do it. Yeah, I wanted something. None of my other projects are very portable right now. They all require that I have access to lots of different colors of yarn, or they're just big. And so I wanted something that I could take with me if I'm leaving the house. And so I
How
started.
do you cast yours on? A figure eight or?
I do Judy's Magic
Oh, magic cast
cast
on.
on, and
All right.
do,
Yeah.
I do a toe that I learned from one of Kat Bordy's books. Her first, I think it was her first sock book. And so you cast on 6 stitches using Judy's Magic Cast On, and then you slowly increase in 6 wedges.
All right.
Yeah, so it's I fell in love with that toe, and
okay.
I've tried lots of other toes, and I never have found one that I liked better than this one. So
Yeah.
I always use this one now, unless I have a reason to try something different.
Can you show your sock again so
Sure.
we can see the?
Yeah, let me put the light back on.
How is the toe? How does the toe close up if you start with 6 stitches?
It's
Kind of like a cap.
It automatically closes up. It
automatically
tightens up.
closed. Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
I didn't do anything to it.
Yep.
This is
I see.
just how it look, and you can kind of see it looks like a star
Yeah,
Right.
That's-
or a spiral.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's 6 wedges, so 3 on each side. So if I hold it flat, you can kind of see
uh-huh.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
See
That's
that
really
now?
neat.
Looks very dressy. Looks very
Yeah,
sharp. Like
yeah.
when you got your tails on and top hat.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, if I like this pattern, and so far I do, because I can memorize it, and I might do this as gifts for the holidays. I might make 2 or 3 different pairs and give them to family for gifts.
Would be lovely.
Are
Yeah.
you doing a short row here?
Yes. I do it's the I like the fish lips
Fish
kiss.
lips, kiss heel.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which
yes,
is such
that's
a
what I
weird
use.
name, but
Yes.
I really like the way that it looks, and
So easy to do. Yeah.
and it's easy to do, and I don't need the pattern. I can just do it. And so yeah, I think I'll just do the fish lips kiss heel, and then work the cuff, and then throw some ribbing at the top, and I do
Good to go.
bind off, and then I'll be all set. So
And you're going to carry that pattern all the way up the front.
I think so. I think it'll just go all the way up until the ribbing.
Yeah.
And I haven't decided if it's going to carry up through the ribbing, or if I'll just switch to all
Mm.
the thing at the top. I haven't thought about that yet.
So I was taught a trick, and it's worked on everybody that I've tried it on.
Okay.
Is so you know where to start your heel without
Yeah.
measuring. Yeah?
Okay.
It's the length from your thumb to your little finger.
Okay.
So
From tip
that
to
position
tip.
there is
Uh-huh.
the length of your foot, and once you get to there, start your heel.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that's
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah,
That would be
Ah.
great because it's you have to, I always just try it on. Just
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
estimate. I sort of try it on and estimate how deep I think the heel will be.
yeah.
And it works out.
So
That's
Yeah.
Jenny, that would work then also toe, top to toe. If you get your heel done and then you measure out where you want your toe to be,
Right.
you'd have that same
Because
distance,
that would
no?
be from that would be to the end of your toe, so that wouldn't tell you where to start your toe.
Right. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you'd have to contemplate
Yeah.
that by a couple
Well,
inches.
Yeah.
But that way you wouldn't have too long a sock, which I have had.
Yes, yes. Oh, I suppose, yes, you could do that, and you could work out how long you thought your toe was going to be and start that distance. But yes, yeah.
Mm.
I'm just holding this up to my foot and looking at it. I think it's perfect. I think
Wow.
So let me
So
check.
it's good when you're like me. If you take, I always take socks to knit on holiday. So
Yeah.
if you're knitting on a plane,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't take a measure with me, I just have to stretch my hand out and think, yeah,
Right.
yeah, nearly there, yeah.
You don't want to take your shoes and socks off on the plane.
No, no.
I know.
I was gonna say your friends that you're making the socks for, you could draw their hand
Yeah.
and have that measurement.
Well, and if
Yeah.
it's a surprise gift
Yeah.
and you ask
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
measurement,
Yeah.
they have no idea.
Yeah.
that it's
You know
not,
what
you
what
know?
we're going to get. No.
Yeah, that's
I like
great.
Good
Thanks.
program.
Yeah.
So just to make sure, the distance between the end
The
of the
edge of your
thumb,
thumb and the edge of your little finger. Make sure you spread them out as far as you can, but the distance from that end to that end.
and
Okay.
that corresponds to
Your toe, the front of your toe to is roughly where your ankle bone is. So it's where you start the
Heel.
turn. For a fish
The
like
heel.
this here, it's where
Oh,
you
wow.
start the heel turn. Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
it looks like it would work.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their feet in the air. Let's
measuring
have a show of
their foot.
feet then on the camera. Yeah.
So the funny story is once a month I have a men's meeting in the senior center. All us elderly men come and we chat for 2 hours, and then we go out to dinner. So
Oh,
the man
nice.
who runs it says this past Thursday, we want to start everybody to come up and talk about, their hobbies and what they do.
Mhm.
And the first thing was popped up is Michael jumps up and he says, "We want Wally to teach us how to knit and crochet." I said,
Wow.
"Okay." So next month I got to bring all my knitting needles and yarn to show these guys how to knit and crochet. I
Sweet.
said, "Oh Lord." So
That's a job.
Nice.
How fun is that?
I know. And then they say, "Well, don't forget to bring your cookies too." I said, "Yeah, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Got to bring the cookies with me." So, God.
You'll have to knit some cookies and take the knitted cookies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Diet cookies full of fiber, very good for you.
Yeah.
Sheep fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been getting lots of fiber, that's for sure.
Well, I guess it's time to give you the bad news about the yoke sweater.
Oh, no.
No.
What happened now?
Well, I kept working on it, and I might as well do this big screen. And I decided to knit an entire sleeve and more of the body. And when I tried it on, I found out that the sleeve depth is way too long. It's like 2 inches below my arm, and
Oh, wow.
it just isn't right. And I think the problem is the yoke is too big. So the set-in sleeve that's supposed to sit on top of the shoulder has slidden down. And that means the whole set-in sleeve is too low.
Hmm.
That's what I think has happened. And so I'm gonna have to start this sweater all over again.
Ah.
I may even have to buy more yarn to complete it, because this is the yarn I was supposed to use for the published sweater, and I don't want to reuse yarn for a published sweater.
Sure, that's frustrating for you, but it certainly is a beauty once you get it done.
Well, if I ever get it done, I'll be so
You will.
happy. Last week I was just so happy. I thought we really
Yeah.
solved the problem.
Yeah.
And I wrote Judith and I said, this is so disappointing. I'm sorry to have to tell you, it's really isn't working. But that was after she sent me a picture of hers. And I said, that doesn't look like it worked.
Oh,
Judith,
Judith, did yours do the same then?
I didn't go as far as Frank did. I
Oh,
stopped
okay.
just where we split for the sleeves, and it
Right.
was still a little puffy where the increases are made for the wedges.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So we're back to the drawing board on the yoke sweater.
But you have a, how do you say, a piste is a lead,
What?
It's
Clue.
sorry?
Yeah. A clue as to what's
A
gone
clue,
wrong.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Would it make any difference if you made the motif smaller?
No, it's not the motif that is the problem.
All right.
It's the actual architecture of the yoke that is.
Okay.
Though there is a separate problem that I don't, maybe somebody can help me, tell me how this is supposed to work. But obviously, let me show you the back of the sweater, right? The color work then stops and it becomes just one piece of fabric. Well, the drape of the two sections is completely different. And
Because
that
of
affects
One's tighter and
how
one's
the sweater
looser.
hangs. The heavier drape tends to want to hang over the drape.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, people have done yoke sweaters like this. How is that supposed to work? The only thing I could think of is to put the yellow all the way across the back. I don't want to do that.
Are you using superwash yarn?
Yes.
Does anybody think that it could
Drape
influence
too much?
Maybe.
Is it the fact that it's superwash?
No.
You know what?
I think it does.
Yeah.
It
Floats
might.
the floats don't stick to the yarn the same way
Right. Where wool does.
where wool
Yeah.
does.
One thing
Sorry, go ahead, William. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that sometimes I think with superwash you have to actually wash it and dry it for it to behave like you want it to behave, you know? Like I just finished a sweater in superwash last night actually, and I was trying to block it and it just wouldn't stay. Like every time I tried to lay it out flat, it wouldn't stay flat. And so I threw it in the dryer.
Yeah.
And I hand washed it and then I was like, it just had no structure to it, it seemed. And so I threw it in the dryer and that helped a lot. So I don't know if, you obviously you can't do that now because the sweater's not complete, but
Right. I didn't think I would complete it at this point because it's such a failure already.
Hmm.
Not a failure. It's just
It's another step in
glitch.
the learning process.
Progress.
It's
Yeah.
a glitch. Yes.
Yes,
It's a
as
great
I
adventure.
wrote to Judith, every time it fails, I learn something new that I can try.
Yeah.
So I
So
think,
have you
yes.
tried plugging the gauge into an ordinary Phrancko and comparing the number of stitches that you've got at a certain distance on the yoke to weigh what it would come out as at the Phrancko pattern to see if you've got a different number of stitches?
When
Is that
you,
making sense?
in the
Yeah.
current version, when you finish the yoke,
Yeah.
it has about, I think, 6 or 8 more stitches than goes across the chest.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so there are decreases at various points to bring it to the width that it's supposed to be.
Back in.
But that's because it's also part of, when you finish the yoke, it's an arc. So that's actually longer than the distance straight across.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that's why there ought to be more stitches there.
Mhm.
And you have to reduce the number of stitches gradually to get the lines to straighten out. And I think I solved that problem, but I need to get the right sized yoke. And I just can't seem to get that right.
When you finished solving that problem, do you have the same total number of rows on that as you would do on a normal Phrancko? So once you finish the yoke and all the
Rows.
decreases, are you at the same depth that you would have on a Phrancko of the same gauge?
Hmm.
Um,
Mm.
I think the answer to that is no.
No.
I
So
think there's a certain amount of fudging that is expected to work, that I'm
Right.
expecting to work, because there will always be more rows in the front of the sweater than there are down the sides of the sweater. But as the rows straighten out, I don't know.
But when you but your
Yes.
your neck to armhole down the front, you should end up with the same number of rows, shouldn't you, as a normal Phrancko for the neck
would-
to armhole?
Yeah. So I don't have that
That
right.
will tell you the depth is correct. So if you plug your gauge into a Phrancko, you don't have to do it. You can just count the rows and see if you've ended up with the same. And that might be why the armholes are coming down lower if you've got a different number of rows to that point.
Well, the armhole is designed exactly the same as a Phrancko sweater. So it's supposed to start at the same place and be the same number of rows down on the side. It's that the yoke is hanging between the two armholes.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm.
So Frank, is the yoke kind of sliding over the shoulders? Is that what's happening?
Yes, I think that's what's happening.
Okay. Yeah, that
And
makes sense. And then it makes it too long in the
then
armhole,
the armhole is too long. And so so
and the sleeves are too long.
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I've got to spend some more time thinking about it. But I have spent many nights
Thinking about it
in the
already.
middle of the night. My best inspirations have always come in the middle of the night when I lie awake going, well, what if I did this? And
Ah, yes.
I really thought we were on to something here now, but
Well, you may be right on the brink of it. You don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
Right on it.
it's something you have to tweak.
Yes.
Your fans are all around you. So
Well, will you still be fans if this
yes,
doesn't ever
yes,
actually happen?
Yeah.
Of
yes,
course.
of course.
I've been very transparent about the process, partly because I'd like you all to know what's involved and
Yeah.
what happens when you're trying to do something new and innovative. It's
Reach out to your designer friends.
yes, that's right. all of the friends who give me great tips.
Yeah.
So who else is working on something they'd like to show us? Anybody? Let's see who. Jenny, we haven't heard from you.
I'm still plugging away on my shawl. Hold on, I'll try and show you where I am. I've got about 30 rows to go now. So we're getting towards, I'll try and stretch a bit of lace out so you can see. Hold on a minute. Whoops, make sure I don't.
Don't pull it off your needle. That
I
would
was
be a
gonna say,
disaster.
Oh,
I've done that a lot this time
I've
around.
done that too.
Yeah.
I did that last week, and I spent about 2 hours doing lace surgery, which is I'm knitting. It's like
Oh.
a snowflake at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah,
That is gorgeous.
yeah.
Yes.
So it'll be when it's finished and blocked, it'll be easier to see. But yes, it's like a snowflake that's coming up at the moment.
So do you know how many stitches it is on the edge that you're knitting now?
We're up to just over the 600 mark.
Ah,
Ah,
And you have
yeah.
30 more rounds,
30 more to go, yes.
and they're going to
Yeah.
increase from there.
Yes, I've got a few rounds where they don't increase, and then some more increases coming up, I think. I'm not looking at the numbers.
No.
I'll worry about that when I get there. Yeah.
Well, just remember, it's about the process. We just love the process of knitting, and it's so enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have
I was-
something to show off too. This is my Phrancko. Let me stand back.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Look at that.
wow.
The lace.
Wow.
So beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
this is
Nice.
very
the
nice.
pattern that Serena knit for me. The only thing I'm going to do is change the collar because I want a collar that folds over and has a bit of lace around the bottom.
Oh,
So I'm going to change that. But otherwise, I love it.
well, look at the lace on the bottom too. Yes.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Nice sleeves. Mm.
And I'll wear it over a turtleneck, so I have a little more ease in it than, say a younger, thinner person might want. But it's perfect for me.
It's beautiful. Very pretty.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Nice color
Yep,
also.
I love the Tweety.
yeah. Which yarn is that?
This is Erin Moore Light. It's a DK weight tweed yarn, and it's silk, wool, and might be cashmere.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I love this yarn, and it's softer than I thought it would be too.
That's not your knit along sweater, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is.
It is, except for the collar. I have to change.
And well, you were working on one that had a cable motif in a different color.
That one is still in progress.
Oh.
We won't talk about that yet.
Oh, well,
That
now I've been talking about my failures.
Well, it got really waylaid because I was so sick, and so Joellen found a problem in the program for some reason. Well, it was because on a top down, I didn't have the algorithm correct for centering the motif in the back. I realized with the front, you don't know exactly how many stitches are on the needle at any given point. You just know when you're done with the neckline. So the way I have to center the motif is I'll write a line that says for the back, for the sleeves, for the fronts. And for the fronts, I'll put something in about as you come to the increase on the neckline you'll change a stitch pattern here. That kind of thing. So, and it's I have a whole page of instructions for the different areas, but I haven't got it on the computer yet.
And everybody's working on a different size sweater, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you can't say knit this many stitches and start the motif on the back.
Right.
So you have to teach them how to center it based on the number of sweater stitches across the back.
Correct. And it's the middle 15 stitches,
Right.
which she knows, she figured it out, but for her sweater, you know, but
Yeah, but I'm gonna still wait for your video on doing the design. 'Cause I looked at that and said, oh no, I'm not going down that road by myself.
I don't blame you. Yeah. I
Oh,
think from now on, when I do a knit along, I'm doing one sweater at a time. And then the next one, and then I'll do one sweater, and then it'll all be done ahead. So we won't have any of these issues.
well, that's part of it, you know.
It's part of it. It's part
I
of
know
it.
it worries you, but they love you.
It's okay. It's okay if we know each other and everything, but for knitters that expect something perfect to start with, then that's it's not okay. So we'll get there.
Why would anybody think that way?
Plenty do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
a
without
big-
everyone knitting it, and Frank knows this, without people knitting it using your program, you'll never find all
You
the-
never find out why.
No. Mm-mm. So it's kind of a catch-22 that way. Yeah.
Until I had this program with Phrancko Sweaters and the Ravelry group, I never heard from people who knitted the patterns that were appearing in the Cast On magazine. And so a couple of years went by and I'm publishing all these patterns and I wonder, well, is anybody knitting them? Is it, what's going on? And it really was a breath of fresh air to start hearing from people and saying if they liked it or they didn't like it or they had questions or whatever. So it's really quite different to have contact with the people who are knitting your sweater. So I if anybody hears this later, they should know I'm very willing to help anyone knitting any of my sweaters, whether they're from the magazine or from the website phrancko.com. Just write me an email at frank@phrancko.com and I will answer your questions and even change your pattern if you did it on the website and entered something wrong. You don't have to enter a new pattern. So I'm willing to help anybody who reaches out for help. I'm not overwhelmed by people doing that by any means.
If you are overwhelmed, that would be a very good thing.
Yeah, it would actually.
That would be mainstream acceptance of computer program.
That's right.
So before I start a new role, I'm also working on a shawl. It's not as delicate as Jenny's. It's work.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
It's worked in knit pick yarn, the palette.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
it's
lovely.
called
That is.
it's the Erosimum shawl by Céline. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Phaeton. It's Feyten. Phaeton.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
where
nice.
I am. I'm
Wow.
almost done. I'm
Gorgeous.
starting. Last portion is they call it a floral lace pattern.
Oh.
So
Mm.
Now
Mhm.
that pattern with the motifs, is that a mosaic pattern?
that it is. It is. So it's pretty on this side, but on the other side, it's so
Random.
yeah.
Well, that's
It's not that.
neat.
Yeah, it's not that
that's
bad.
neat. I mean,
That
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it's my first shawl.
Oh,
I've
It's
never.
oh, you're doing really well.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank you.
You need a shawl like that in Canada.
Yes. Yeah, that's the perfect time of the year when you have a long sleeve, you say shirt or blouse, so you can wrap it
Wrap
over your
around.
shoulders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I have to finish it, but I
Mhm.
still have about 50 rows, maybe average of 200 stitches. So it's nothing like what Jenny's working.
If anybody follows Nathan Taylor, he's also known as Sockmatician.
Oh, yeah.
And
we-
Oh, yes.
yeah, he has just released the most amazing double knitted shawl pattern, and it's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely huge. And by the time you get to the end, there's over 1,400 stitches
Oh,
on the
my
row,
Lord.
Wow.
and you're doing a Kitchener bind off at the end across all those 1,400 stitches.
Whoa.
No.
Oh
But
my
it is
I have
the
to
most
see that.
beautiful shawl I've ever seen, and I'm very tempted. Probably next year I will have a go at it. It's just
Mm.
absolutely beautiful. It's on
What's
his
the-
he's on Ravelry, so you can see it on his Ravelry page.
What's the shape? Is it a crescent or
Triangular.
it's a triangular?
Triangle.
Oh,
Mm.
And do you know what yarn weight he is
Oh.
suggesting?
I
I think
just
it's. Oh, you
Yes.
found it, have you?
I just found it. I
There
put
you
it in
go.
the chat, and
Yeah.
it's fingering.
Fingering, yeah.
Delivery, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
But it is absolutely huge, isn't it, Will? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
it-
have to
oh
see
my
that.
gosh. I'm just looking at it.
yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
that's amazing.
So one yarn is a fairly solid color, and the other one he used was a variegated color, which is why there's so many colors.
Mhm.
But I actually really like that effect of the variegated and the solid. So
Mhm.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
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 but
And the whole thing
he's
is double knit.
yes, the whole thing is double knit, and
Mm.
he's about 6 foot tall, I think Nathan is. So you can get an
Yes.
idea of how big the shawl is. Yeah,
Oh, nice
it's
Look at that.
textures.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
is.
wait.
Does one of the pictures show the opposite side? I can't tell.
It's a good question.
Mm.
I don't.
That's still, yeah.
Wow.
That's
Look,
yeah.
look at
That's
the
the other
work
thing,
in
yeah.
that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
So
I think that's
So
the.
that-
That would take me the rest of my life.
yeah, that would be
There's
a,
the opposite side. That's the opposite side there.
That's the other
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so gorgeous.
Mm.
it would mean
Yeah.
a 2-year long knit
Yeah,
along.
project. Oh.
Yeah.
I
But,
bet it took him that long to design and make.
Hey,
Well,
Mm.
he actually made it about oh 5 or 6 years ago, I think he made it. And
Really?
he never released a pattern, but people kept asking and asking and asking. So eventually he's written the pattern, and he said it was that long ago he had to try and reverse engineer it, having a look to see, well,
Ah.
what exactly did I do there
Yeah.
to get that out of it.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Bobbles and all.
yes, yeah, there's
Mm.
lace in there, double knitted lace, double knitted cables,
Mm.
and bobbles and all sorts. Yeah. But it is stunning, absolutely
Yeah,
stunning.
yeah, thanks for telling
And
us.
it's
Yeah.
not feminine, you know, it's not,
No?
He's
No.
shows that it can go, you know, male and female, since y'all were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
But it's very versatile.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Well, we have come to the end of the hour.
No.
Okay. Here we are again.
Anyone have any last words they want to say?
Good luck in your design.
Thank you very much.
Ins-
That was what I was hoping
inspiration.
somebody would say.
Yes. You'll get it done, Frank. You know you will.
Yeah.
Okay. I wish I was as confident as you are, Wally, but we will see. have a nice week, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye
Have a
bye.
nice week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.